Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello, hello. This is 15 Minutes of Genius. I am your gracious host, Alex Baer, the CEO and founder of Genius Juice. And our guests, I actually ran into them. I live in Redondo Beach. They're in Redondo Beach. I was on my way home, ran into them, and here we are a couple months later. They are on our show. That is networking at its best right there. So before we roll into our guest this week, I just want to give a big shout out to Mark Nicholas. It's Mark N at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. Here he is right here. This guy's amazing. He is a genius. He does photography. He does editing. He does videos. We just did a photo shoot here last week. Went amazing. This guy can do it all. Jack of all trades. Mark of all trades. All right. So that's Manhattan Beach Studios. All right. So our guests this week, we have the two co-founders of Later Days Coffee, Dave Israel and Robby Horn. They are both co-founders, as mentioned. They were born and bred right here in Redondo Beach, where they launched their company, Later Days Coffee, just 3 years ago. Drawing from their combined experiences in the beverage industry, action sports retail, and as LA County lifeguards, Dave and Robby decided to change their focus and attempt to fill a void in the CPG beverage marketplace. Their goal was to bring a high-quality, well-branded product into what they viewed as an otherwise stale and stagnant cold brew coffee category. It's about time for a shakeup. Grinding every day and giving the consumer an authentic product, they've been able to find success and continue growing at a fast pace. As one of the younger companies in the space with two of the younger founders, Dave and Robby are motivated to continue growing Later Days. They feel stoked to have had some early success and are optimistic about their future. How's it going, guys?
It is going great. Good to see you, Alex.
Yeah, good to see you, too. I think I can actually hear you talking like from your office. That's how close we are right now.
So, we're right down the street from each other.
Right down the street. So, well, good to see you guys. Looks like you just moved into your new office there. It's looking good. You have a plant, you have the cold brew sign, all the essentials for an office.
We got it all. We did 205 South PCH in Redondo. We just moved in. We're going to create a little retail front here coming up, so we're really excited.
Right on. So you can get your cold brew on your way to wherever you're going, little tap room. I love it, man. It's a good idea. So let's get right into it. Later Days. You know, I first discovered it at Whole Foods. You guys are starting regionally. You're starting to expand outside of that. Tell me more. I'm saying me more about what was really your inspiration on getting into such a crowded, saturated category with Chameleon and Calafia, all these people coming out with cold brew. What was your conviction on how can this really be successful in such a saturated market? So, what were your thoughts when you launched Later Days?
Well, to take it all the way back, I think in the beginning, when we first started, there wasn't too many people in the space just yet. So we felt pretty confident on the timing. I think that from a consumer standpoint, people were still trying to understand what cold brew was. I mean, I definitely was. And really the inspiration kind of came from a couple summers, just being on the beach. Dave and I both lead pretty active lifestyles. We were lifeguarding, we're recurrent lifeguards, so we were spending time in the towers, and we really wanted something to kind of keep us fueled throughout the day. Dave had a background in liquid, so he was doing beer, and we had slowly we kind of realized that we wanted to create a company together, and we were just really wanting to learn, and over a couple iterations, we kind of came up with Later Days, and we did some R&D, which was good, and we kind of felt that there was not really a product that was strong enough for the price point. Price points were pretty high, and we didn't really feel like we were getting our money's worth. So we really wanted something that was going to be effective, have a strong taste, be a premium product. And so that's kind of the inspiration behind it.
Got it. And how many SKUs do you have currently right now?
Yeah, we have one SKU. So we rolled out our one SKU like when we first launched, which is our strong, ready to drink cold brew. Single origin, organic Nicaraguan bean. It's super like chocolatey and nutty, but extremely smooth for the strength. And that's been our baby for the last 3 years that we've been able to grow with. And we're hopefully launching 3 more SKUs in the end of Q1, Q2 next year.
Awesome. And I, for one, am, we're going to get into more about how you built the company, where you're at now, but I got to say that categories and trends, right? That's really huge because you guys came in with a cold brew coffee 3 years ago when the category is really starting to take off and buyers are just demanding it. When I say buyers, corporate buyers, and also consumers that are going into the stores. But you also have to be innovating all the time. Can you give us a little sneak peek into what your innovations are for early next year and what we can expect?
Definitely. Well, as Robbie noted before, like we lead pretty active lifestyles. So our goal has always been to put a product out there that's healthy, something that we would consume. That's why we do something that's dairy free with no sugar right now. But in terms of our next couple of SKUs, we're sort of following along that path, and we're going to do a plant-based milk mixed with the cold brew, sort of our spin on it. We're going to do another similar version to our product right now. And then we're also going to do a little bit of flyer, which is going to be wellness mixed with cold brew. Health is huge right now, and we're really looking forward to that.
Awesome. And like when it comes to it, you started with one SKU, which is incredibly admirable because I think I only know maybe 2 companies that did it. Coca-Cola, Genius Juice. We started with just our original and later days. So like battling it out for shelf space for any entrepreneurs that are, out there that are watching this, like you may, if you don't have the resources to come out with 5 SKUs from the very beginning, you come out with 1, and obviously it has to be a good seller or, you're dead in the water. What was your experience in building the company from just 1 SKU? I mean, that must be challenging.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of by design. I think for us, we want to put out good products. And so it was really about getting one product right and making sure that it worked. And we, like you said, without the resources, that was a big part of it too. Capital resources specifically, as you know, it's pretty capital intensive to get, new products out the door. And so for us, it was really a mixture of not having the capital specifically to kind of innovate. And then also for us, like we were young, we were learning as we were going too. And we really wanted to drive this one product home and be well known for one thing first. And then for us, it was the innovation has really started to come from the consumer side, that they're asking for more products from us, which is great. And also buyers and distributors are starting to say, hey, you guys are doing really well with this one product. Let's add more SKUs to the shelf and get you guys a bigger presence. We have 1 to 3 face outs, depending on if we have somebody that really likes us. Maybe we'll get those 3 face outs, but we're still having pretty solid velocity with the 1 SKU, and so we feel confident about what's coming up next.
Yeah, definitely. And something that I've learned is kind of a tidbit that really has worked when we were in 2017 and 18 when we only had 1 SKU like you guys currently, even though you're going to be releasing more early next year, is I always request for the retailer to give us at least 2 facings, at least. And it's a really good tidbit that I'll share right now that if you have 2 facings and suddenly you come out with a new SKU, you just say, hey, just fill the 2nd slot. You don't have to,
Exactly.
you don't have to take more space. You don't have to take space away from someone else or discontinue. So that's kind of a little genius nugget from my brain to anyone watching, and I'm sure you guys are also using that strategy. So you're in natural now. You're in Whole Foods. You're in Southern California Whole Foods. You're now expanding up the coast to Northern California. What's really the plan? Are you going to, because it seems like you guys are very patient, which I vibe with you because I am the same exact way. Like you want to get it right, dialed in, and then start aggressively expanding it. When are you guys gonna really start putting the pedal to the metal and saying, you know what, we're going to go beyond natural. Let's start getting in multiple SKUs to conventional. What's kind of your timeline on when you want to start, blowing this out and getting to more retailers outside of just regional and becoming more more on a national level?
I mean, like you said, we really want to do it right the first time. And so our goal is to really be California's cold brew. We've had a lot of success down here in LA in our backyard. We're moving up to San Francisco, and it's been the response has been extremely well. So I think we really want to hammer down on California. And then once we feel comfortable with where we're at, then we can start growing nationally. But we still have so much work to be done in California. There's so many small chains of natural markets that we're not in yet, that our eyes have been on for a long time and that we're working towards.
Absolutely.
I think we definitely want to own our own backyard. I think that's been something that kind of put a premium for us is, we want to make sure that we can really dominate where we're at before we start to try to take more bites out of the apple. I think it gives you a little bit of leverage too, when you can say, hey, look how much success we're having here, and then kind of parlay that into other territories. But it's a slow grind. Patience is everything, and it really takes a lot of patience to kind of play this game.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. I think in one of the previous episodes, I compared, starting in natural is like you're starting in a padded room. You might make mistakes. You learn about branding. You learn about formulation. And then if you fall down, you'll hit your head, but it's padded and you'll be okay. And it's funny. I think someone said, no, starting a CPG brand is like being in a padded room at a mental asylum. It's like you get sometimes with how hard it is and how competitive it is, it can drive you crazy. But you guys are sticking it out. You're persevering and you're really standing the test of time, which is awesome. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. For people watching, wherever you're starting your business, whether it's Chicago, New York, Florida, LA, San Francisco, dominate your backyard. There is so much revenue in business, and it's not about being in 1,000 retailers. It's about being in a few hundred and doing extremely well in those retailers and getting as much velocity and support from within those retailers as possible. And you guys have the right strategy. So, yeah. What else? How about on the capital raise side? As a small business, I'm sure you're aiming to hit your first million here with later days. What's your plan for fundraising? And I want to ask something really interesting I've never asked on the show before. Have you guys considered raising online? Because Genius Juice raised online about $500,000 on WeFunder. Big shout out to the WeFunder team and Justin Renfro. Have you guys considered, in these times where so many people are on their computers and phones and they're plugged in all the time, raising online versus raising the traditional route?
Yeah, for sure. I think to answer your first question, sorry, that's a fire truck going by.
As long as no one's getting arrested, we're good. So.
We're good. To answer your first question, we're in the middle of a pre-seed round right now, actually, as we speak. And it is always interesting when you're going back to the well and you're trying to get some people to show some more confidence in what you're doing. And we're definitely a small company, but we feel like we have major upside. And to take it back to your second question, actually watching your WeFunder definitely gave us some inspiration to maybe go down that route. We had considered it previously, but watching what a good job you did was definitely inspiring, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the hardest part of that entire raise was not raising the money. It was coming up with the lyrics for that rap video. I think actually, Dave, you said that when I first, like I said in the beginning, I was walking home with 2 bags from Whole Foods,
Yeah.
and then I see your car, I see the Later Days logo on the trailer, and then suddenly Dave, stops him in my tracks, and he's like, is that you? Are you Alex, Genius Juice? And one of the first things you told me was, I love the rap video. I love the song. So, but anyway.
We'd never met before, and I was walking outside and I saw you, and I was like, I had it stuck in my head, rolling down the street, your music video.
Rolling down the street.
It was appropriate to say hi.
And literally, you saw me rolling down the street, so that's what's ironic about the whole thing.
I couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah, if you want me to write, some lyrics for a rap video, a rap song that you want to launch on an equity crowdfunding site, I'm good for it, and I will not ask for a royalty. I'm going to come up with something great for later days. So,
So you
uh,
moonlight as a
yeah, I got some writing skills. That's about all I have. So,
Would
well,
love it. Can I
yeah.
ask you, will you star in it too?
You know what? I would actually love that. If you want to do the
All right.
music video, just show
Great.
me, tell me where to show up and what to say and what to do, and I will be there for you guys to support you.
keep it rolling.
So, no
Perfect. We'll put
problem.
on the-
And I'll hook you up. We got our videographer right here. Mark, this guy
Yes.
right here. He can do it.
Yeah, Mark, ready to go.
You got the whole team right here in this room to make it successful. You guys can raise like $500,000 or $1 million on this platform, just with a great
Perfect.
rap song. That's all you need. So, all right, we're out of time. You guys have an amazing story, amazing product. I think one of the best cold brews out there that I've ever tasted. So thank you again for joining us on 15 Minutes of Genius. Dave and Robby, thank you again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Alex.
it.
Appreciate it.
All right, have a good night. All right, that is 15 Minutes of Genius with Dave and Robby, the co-founders of Later Days Coffee. Again, big shout out to Mark Nicholas, Mark N at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. He makes it all possible. This is amazing. Grateful for what he's doing here. All right, so that is it. And one last thing, stay genius and caffeinated, my friends. Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.